Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to draw this peppermint shape. We're going to start with the polygon tool, and we're going to start by drawing a triangle, and I'm going to hold down the shift key to constrain the triangle to an equilateral triangle. Let go, and then you can press the V key or go back to the black arrow tool and rotate that triangle 180 degrees. Again, I'm holding down the shift key to constrain that rotation. And then I'm going to resize that triangle to make it a little bit thinner, a little bit longer. And that's looking pretty good. The next thing I'm going to do is go up to Object, Repeat, and Radial. This gives me the opportunity to repeat the object radial, just like the name implies. And I can increase or decrease the number of steps. It depends on how you want your peppermint to look. About 8 or 9 instances tends to look pretty good. I want the endpoints just barely touching, not all the way in, but just leave a little bit of a gap right there in the center. Then I'm going to go to Effect, Distort and Transform, Twist. Again, that's Effect, Distort and Transform, Twist. And for this tutorial at this resolution, 45 degrees seems to work pretty well. Of course, you can increase that or decrease that to your liking. And select OK. Click off, and I have this object. Now I'm going to draw a circle for a clipping path. I'm going to start in the center, and if I hold down Alt or Option, it will draw the shape from the center out. I can also hold down Shift to constrain it to a circle, and I want my circle just a little bit smaller than my peppermint stripes. I'm going to select both of those objects, and I just want to make sure they are aligned horizontally and vertically. And then I can go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make, or Command or Control 7 on the keyboard. And that will clip the stripes around this circle, so we have rounded edges here. Now I'm going to draw another circle. Again, from the center out, holding down Alt or Option and Shift at the same time. And I'm going to make this the same size as my first circle. Go back to the black arrow tool. Select Gradient Fill. And if you push the G key on the keyboard or go to the Gradient tool over here, you'll see that. You can change the gradient. Now, we want this to look like just kind of a rounded edge here, so I'm just looking for a little bit of a drop shadow, so I'm not going to go all the way in. I'm just going to have it be about like that. I just want the indication that this is a three-dimensional shape. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, or you can do Command or Control, Shift, and left bracket. That will send that all the way to the back. And I'm going to duplicate that object by going to Edit, Copy, and Edit, Paste in Front. And that's also Command or Control C to copy, Command or Control F to paste in front. And what that does is it creates a top copy of that same gradient fill circle. And I'm going to take the top copy and I'm going to bring it all the way to the front and change the blending mode to multiply. And what that does is that helps these stripes look a little bit darker so that that shadow goes over the stripe also. See how it looks? You can kind of see. And now for the highlight, going to draw another circle again from the center out, and this is going to be just a little bit smaller. This is going to be the highlight. I'm going to go to the white arrow tool, or the direct selection tool, or the A key, and I'm going to select this bottom anchor point. Circles are made up of 4 anchor points. I'm going to delete that bottom one, then click off to deselect, and then select this side anchor point, delete that one. I only need 2 anchor points and a line between them. So for fill, I'm going to select none, and stroke, I'm going to select white. I can come over here to stroke. I'm increasing the size of the stroke, and for my file setup here, my resolution about 30 points is looking pretty good. I'm going to click on stroke and change the stroke profile to width profile 1 so it tapers both ends. Come back to my black arrow tool to make sure I have both that object selected. We're going to take down the opacity. And for just a finishing touch, I'm going to go to Effect, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And about 3 pixels is looking pretty good. You can say none, of course, or 0.1, I guess, is the smallest. The more blur you give it, it starts to disappear because it's just a big blur. So somewhere between 3 to 5 pixels, depending on your resolution and your screen size, or the size of your project. So that gives us the highlight. And if I wanted to add another highlight, I can duplicate that. I'm holding down the Alt or Option key to click and drag that shape and rotate that over here and put that there. And if I want to use that same shape as a shadow, I could increase it a little bit and change the stroke color to black. Turn the opacity down and change the blending mode to multiply. That will give me just a little more depth in there. So that's how you make the peppermint. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and follow me for more.